Hello friends, I am back with another pen test video. Previously I did the Languo acrylic gel pens and I also did the Languo acrylic brush pens, so you can check those videos out, the links are in the description. But today we're going to be checking out something that was actually recommended to me in the comments of one of those videos, the metallic acrylic gel pens. Now, I didn't know these were a thing. I have since done some research and they go for about £30 to £40 on AliExpress. I got mine on Vinted for £29, all included. It was £25 plus all the postage and everything. And this is what the pens look like. They're a little bit chunkier, which I actually found to be quite nice. And you can see that beautiful metallic ink inside. It is quite clearly a very pigmented pen. Now I have this cute postcard. It's a colouring in postcard and there is where it's from. And I decided rather than do a big colouring page, I was going to do one of these instead because I liked the image. No other reason than that. But we're going to get started, and one thing I noticed right away was how well the ink flowed. I think during this entire colouring experience I had maybe 2 pens that needed a little bit of a warm-up before they really got going. But other than that, these actually were so juicy, so smooth, really easy to work with, and the nib was so round that it just kind of gently went over the paper. There was no scratching or damaging of the paper. It was really smooth and I loved that. Now I will say they do stay wet a little bit longer than a traditional felt tip pen, but it's not that bad. I didn't smudge, I don't think, any of it. I'm pretty sure that I didn't smudge any of it. But I love the colour range. I love how nice and bold and bright the colours are. I love the fact that with these pens the hand feel is nice. Now don't get me wrong, the acrylic gel pens are lovely and they also have a nice hand feel because they're quite thin. These are a little bit chunkier and it meant it was a little bit more, I think it was a little bit more comfortable for me to actually hold them for longer periods of time. But I think it's probably preference on that. Some people might love these, some people might say no, they're too big. I'm not sure how you guys would feel, but it's somewhere between the brush pen and the regular acrylic gel pen. Now, as you can see, I'm going great guns with this. I did have to take a break about halfway through because unfortunately I do have an eye condition and I was struggling to focus and I didn't want to ruin it when I got so far in. But I think I did a wonderful job colouring this. Now I'm going to come up with a few little downsides to these pens. One is the fact that the metallic parts, the little glittery bits, they do come off quite easy. When I finished colouring, I hadn't noticed it whilst I was colouring. I was so focused, but I had a completely silver palm from where I had rested my hand and dragged my hand over the completed parts. Also, my table where I had then, moved my hand was covered in silver glitter. So that was a bit of an issue, but honestly, just, a little dust or a cloth and it was off, and I washed my hands, I was fine. But if you're going to be using these as a mixed media thing, just be aware that some of that glitter will come off. It's still super pigmented and super sparkly underneath. You won't lose that, but you will find that a lot of it comes off on your hand if you colour like I do. But you might have a better technique than me. I like to rest my hand, so That is the difference maybe. Now, I will say I really did enjoy colouring this. It's been a long time since I sat and coloured with just one style of pen, and I did it all within a day. And this was nice. I really enjoyed it. It looks fantastic. I'm possibly going to keep it. I'm possibly going to gift it to a pen pal, this postcard, but it doesn't really matter. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I do want to point out one thing that was a little bit annoying. Oh wait, no, we're going to have a look at that. Look at the sparkle on that. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So the one thing that I didn't notice is that though the backs of the packets have the numbers of which pen it corresponds with, I have to say I was disappointed that they don't actually mark it on the pen. So I'm not sure how I can go about making that change without making the pens look a bit tatty and kind of crappy. But as long as I keep them in the packets, I think that's probably going to be my best bet. I did want to take them all out and put them into a nice little like pot, but I'm just not going to be able to do that. And it's fine, but it was a little bit annoying because all the other Languo pens had the colour on the cap, and there was nothing on the barrel, there was nothing on the cap, there was nothing on any of the pens that had the colour number. So that's just one thing that I was a little bit annoyed about, and I had to share it. But that's a small thing. All in all, I would recommend these pens. Maybe not to colour an entire sheet like I did, but they're a great little add-on.